Hi everybody, and welcome to what I hope and expect will be a new series of very short and not sweet podcasts, probably just taking over from my role as a voice for the industry in SA Flyer magazine. The launch of this podcast couldn't be more timely, simply because we seem to be engulfed in a tidal wave of shit coming down from not just the Civil Aviation Authority, but pretty much all the regulators and the SOEs charged with looking after aviation. Obviously, the big issue right now for general aviation remains the 12-year rule, which has grounded 1,400, if not more, aircraft, and this is still grinding through the courts. And I'm very pleased to say that there seems to be a strong move towards actually launching a class action suit against the regulator for at least 100 million rand. So probably some hopefully welcome news coming up on the horizon there. At the same time, yesterday I attended the ATNS press conference, which was an extraordinary exercise in spin, and quite frankly they were just lying to our faces when they say that they are getting on top of the vast backlog of non-approved instrument flight procedures, saying that they focused on getting all the key hubs like Joburg and Cape Town up and going, and yet I look at the NOTAMs and I see that they actually are increasing, and there were a huge number, probably 20 or 30 procedures cancelled at both our Tambo and Cape Town in the past couple of months. So clearly many lies being spoken or spun, if you like, by ATNS. Then we've got enormous other problems rapidly coming down the chute at us. Most notably, we see a strong campaign being mounted by the Civil Aviation Authority against non-South African registered aircraft operating in South Africa. I suppose we could have expected this for some time, but now I have a number of friends who own and operate N-registered aircraft who had them grounded and are now having to beg and plead for a flight permit every time they wish to fly. I see some other aircraft owners have already given in and have changed their San Marino registration to a ZS registration. But N-registered aircraft, there are plenty, and they've effectively been grounded. And at the same time, the CAA continues with its old tricks, but only more so. Now, instead of sending their inspectors overseas business class at great expense for the applicant for a new type certificate, they are actually now insisting that inspectors travel overseas to the States or wherever every time an aircraft is dismantled for importation. That is just going to further grind the aviation industry into the ground here, because people will simply stop replacing their aircraft with newer, better aircraft. So we're in a dreadful predicament right now. I don't know what the regulator and the government has got against general aviation, but if we survive this current period, it will only be because the industry got together and acted in unison to use every law at its disposal to push back against this completely unjust, unfair, and unwarranted interference or oppression of the general aviation industry. That's it for now. I'm keeping these things short, and I will continue to update you as the events develop.